Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick update on my experience with my Samsung Z Fold 4. Now, for those of you that follow the channel, you already know this is my favorite device ever. Absolutely the best phone I've ever owned, and also the best tablet that I could fit in my pocket. It really checks every box. It is the equivalency of having a full-blown computer with me everywhere I go. And that's why when I don't have it, I feel, well, I don't know, naked, lost, you fill in the blank. I mean, maybe those aren't applicable, but hopefully you get the idea. And a couple weeks ago, a problem propped up. Essentially, got a message while the phone was in the open position that I needed to reinsert my SIM, that there was no SIM present. In other words, I only had a Wi-Fi able device. Ironic because last year my Fold 3, the Wi-Fi chipset died. And if you don't know that story, there are videos documenting it. I'm not going to get into it here. Well, now with the Fold 4, that SIM card slot message, essentially whenever I would close the phone, it would recognize the SIM. So I knew there was something positional going on. I did some research online, found a single instance of another user on Reddit that had the same problem, and essentially he or she switched over to the eSIM, and shortly thereafter, the phone no longer worked at all. So, contacted Samsung, told them I had already done general troubleshooting, which I had. Of course, they don't ever like to believe that, in spite of what I do know about handsets. At the end of that call, they ended up issuing a label for in-warranty service. But then I said, you know what, I'm going to try using the eSIM just to see if I can get away without going to a backup phone. Got on the phone with Verizon. They were a complete nightmare on enabling, or I should say using the eSIM in the Fold 4. Apparently this is a known thing that was unknown to me because I still use physical SIM cards and was not using the eSIM. But after probably 4 hours of nonsense with Verizon, I was able to teach them how to do it. Yes, you heard right. I had to research it online, what they didn't know internally. Thanks, Verizon. Update your own notes for your rep so that they don't waste their time and, more importantly, your customers' time. After all was said and done, got the eSIM working, and then within 2 days, this was the next problem. No internal display at all. Keep in mind, this phone has not been dropped. It has not been submerged in any liquid of any form or kind, I should say. And now I no longer have a functioning internal display. So clearly the conclusion I drew was that and I didn't go to look, and I even can feel haptic feedback on the screen right now. I can feel the home button responding, even though it's not working. The research that I didn't speak to the actual engineering of the phone, but it was fairly obvious to me that if this was a positional issue, that the SIM, the ribbon or whatever IDE cable type they use to connect the SIM to the main board probably was coming loose. And then if that happens to also be in contact with the display cable that delivers the actual image, well, then it would be logical that as that goes, so does at least the internal display. And since it was positionally not working when the phone was open, that also logically could lead you to the conclusion that when open, this display would stop working as well, I guess. Either way, it is very erratic. The front screen has continued to work, but as you can see, it has a mind of its own. Like right now, it is not turning back on. So this is really unfortunate, very upsetting for me because I love this phone. It is without question the best device I've ever owned, and the wider aspect ratio, a big improvement from the Fold 3. It should not be taken lightly. I went to my Note 20 backup device, which again, if you're a subscriber, you know I purchased that from Amazon last year. And it's a good phone, but when you are 4 generations deep like myself on folding devices of this caliber, especially a 1 terabyte computer in my pocket, and you see it's waking up now on its own, thanks, it is very, very difficult to go back to a candy bar phone, even if it's the latest and greatest, in my opinion, because you just don't have that same experience of having essentially a PC in your pocket. Because it does require that bigger screen. So I went ahead and got myself a Fold 3. Thankfully, I was able to get a deal on one of these. And this has been a lifesaver because God knows how long it's going to take to get this repaired. It shouldn't take too long. but I do anticipate that Samsung is going to try to screw me. I wish that wasn't the case, but my experience with the Fold 3 left me with that feeling and opinion of their support side of things. And by the way, they're not unique. Most manufacturers are unfortunately not so great in post-purchase support. So that's just, the moral of the story there. And I had to essentially reopen my case with Samsung because the first label they issued I did not end up using because I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'll get by with the eSIM. But now that we know that it's just gotten progressively worse, and I'm sure soon this phone will not even turn on. So thankfully I have everything backed up. I won't lose anything except my time, which of course is arguably just as, if not more valuable than the content. I also picked up, as you know, those of you that follow the channel, the Pixel Fold to see, maybe if this could be a replacement device. So with a completely open mind, I picked this up, being that it is the only competing device with my Fold 4, other than the Fold 4 itself, getting another one. And of course, as you all know, the Fold 5 is literally right around the corner. We're going to have an announcement next week at the Unpacked event. I'm very excited about that. This does make me want to throw up, but hopefully Samsung does the right thing and repairs this at no cost, inside warranty, does not try to claim that my sweat broke this device or I damaged it physically, since there is literally, cosmetically speaking, outside of my fingerprints, this is about as clean as a device could get. So hopefully they don't give me the runaround and they just replace it, fix it, whatever. As long as I get back a 1 terabyte, doesn't even have to be in this color, device that I can start using, that would be ideal. But I don't have to tell you, with this happening, it was all the more gut-wrenching and appealing to jump ship and just start using the Fold, the Pixel Fold. Of course, that's a comparison for another day that I'll still be able to do, even though this is going to go out for repair, because my wife does have a 0.5 terabyte Fold 4 in the exact same color. We have, twinning, matching phones, something I got for us ahead of our wedding last year. And again, I absolutely love this, but this is incredibly upsetting. And, I've got major surgery coming up as well, so to not be with a phone that you depend on is not great. Hopefully, I'll have a Fold 5 in my hands sooner than later, and that also kind of gives you a preview of how things are going with this, because I would not, if I was happy with the Pixel Fold, I would not be talking about the Fold 5, right? And I'm not hating the experience with this. I think it's a very good first attempt, but there is no way, for at least me, that it could replace my Fold 4. In fact, this guy, the Fold 3, is a much better replacement device than that Pixel Fold. So that's another video for another time. But yes, my saga, unfortunately, with probability striking with another hardware malfunction, has occurred. And I will also point out that, if I didn't already, but I think I did, that this is likely to be the only video talking about this hardware failure with the Fold 4, because that Reddit post was the only other shred of information about what I've been experiencing with the Fold 4 on the entire internet. So if you've experienced this, chime in. If you have questions or comments, of course, do so. It's just disappointing, and the fact, I'm glad it happened inside warranty since I do not have Care Plus, but I'm going to say this is another reminder that you should likely pay for that Care Plus protection, regardless of whatever phone you own, but especially if you have such an expensive handset. Because if I did, at least if Samsung decided to void my warranty, which I anticipate they will from their track record, I know Samsung Care Plus would be replacing this without a headache. Granted, it would be refurb most likely, unless I wanted to put up a fight. That would still be better than the position I'm in today. I mean, I've already purchased the Fold 3, considered the Pixel Fold. You get the picture. It's becoming a very expensive repair, so to speak. And if they do void the warranty, I believe that other Fold owner said that their bill was somewhere around $600 for repair, because if they did invalidate that owner's warranty. So we'll see. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button. And as usual, please feel free to subscribe, and please stay safe. Later.